I hate Halloween. Too many drunk people. Too much chaos. I just wanted this shift to end. The party at Joe's Diner had been exhausting. College kids in costumes. Fake blood everywhere. Outside, the October air was cold. I just wanted to get home. That's when I saw them. 3 men in dark suits. They were dragging someone into the alley behind the abandoned warehouse. The man wasn't fighting. His head hung forward. Even from across the street, I could see the blood. Real blood. Not costume makeup. Real. I froze. Should have kept walking. Should have pretended I didn't see anything. But my hands were already pulling out my phone. Shaking. Busy signal. Of course. Halloween night. Every drunk emergency in the city. Calling at once. I scrolled through my contacts, panicking. Found a number Maya had given me last month. Some emergency hotline. I'd saved it just in case. Never thought I'd actually use it. My fingers typed fast. Help. Man hurt. Behind Joe's Diner. 5th and Main. I hit send. Held my breath. The response came in seconds. Don't move. I'm coming. I stared at my phone. Who responds that fast? What kind of emergency service answers in seconds at midnight on Halloween? I didn't know who I'd just texted. And I didn't know my life was about to change forever. My phone buzzed again. Unknown number. What do you see? I typed back fast, fingers cold. 3 men. Dark suits. They dragged someone into the alley. I think he's hurt bad. The response was immediate. How long ago? Just now. Maybe 2 minutes. Are they still there? I looked up. The alley was dark. Empty. The men were gone. The body was gone. Everything was gone. Like it had never happened. They left. I typed. Stay where you are. Something in those words made my skin prickle. Not a request. A command. I should have run. Should have gone home. Should have deleted the number and forgotten. I saw anything, but I stayed. 5 minutes passed. The Halloween decorations suddenly felt wrong. Those paper ghosts weren't cute anymore. They looked like warnings. Then I heard them. Engines. Multiple engines. Getting closer. The first black SUV turned the corner. Then another. And another. I counted 12 before I stopped counting. They moved in formation, surrounding the block. Silent. Precise. Terrifying. Men in dark suits stepped out. Dozens of them. They didn't speak. Didn't look at each other. Just moved with military precision, securing every exit, every alley, every shadow. And then he arrived. The last car, longer than the others, blacker than the other. The back door opened. He stepped out, tall, perfectly tailored suit, dark hair swept back, eyes that seemed to see everything. He walked toward me. Every man stepped aside without being told. I couldn't move, couldn't breathe. He stopped 3 feet away. You called for help. His voice. It was like hearing something underwater. Clear, but distant. Real, but not. Yes. I saw. I know what you saw. How could he know? How could he have gotten here so fast? How could he have mobilized an entire army in 5 minutes? Who are you? I whispered. His eyes locked onto mine. Dark. Infinite. Someone who received your message. He looked past me, toward the alley where the men had been. Something flickered across his face. Recognition. Pain? You shouldn't have seen that, he said quietly. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. It's too late now. He turned back to me. What's your name? Luna. Luna Cross. Luna. He said it like he was testing the weight of it, like he was remembering something. And you are? I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. Adriano Ferrante. The name meant nothing to me, but the way his men reacted, the way they straightened, the way the air itself seemed to shift, told me it should have. Thank you for coming, I said, because I didn't know what else to say. Don't thank me yet. What does that mean? He studied me for a long moment. It means you're in danger now. Whether you meant to be or not. A chill ran through me that had nothing to do with the October air. In danger from what? I asked. Adriano didn't answer immediately. He gestured to one of his men, who stepped forward with a tablet. Adriano swiped through something I couldn't see. His expression unreadable. I noticed his hands. Pale, almost translucent in the streetlight. Must be the lighting, I thought. Halloween fog playing tricks. The men you saw, he said finally. They work for someone who doesn't like witnesses. I'll tell the police I didn't see anything. I'll say I was mistaken. The police can't help you. Something in his tone made my stomach drop. Then what am I supposed to do? Come with me. What? No, I'm not. It wasn't a request. I took a step back. He moved with me, matching my movement exactly. Not threatening, just inevitable. I don't know you, I said. I don't trust you. You don't have to trust me. You just have to stay alive. Before I could respond, one of his men approached, whispered something in Adriano's ear. His jaw tightened. How many? He asked, voice low. 6. East Side. Moving toward her building. My building? They know where I live? My voice cracked. Adriano's eyes cut back to me. They knew the moment you sent that message. They've been tracking phones near the scene, but I didn't see anything. I mean, I saw them, but I don't know who they were or what they were doing or… It doesn't matter what you know. It matters what they think you know. He pulled out his phone. Made a call. Marco. Move the team to 1847. Ashford Street. Apartment 4B. Sweep first. Secure after. He paused. No. No casualties unless absolutely necessary. I want them alive for questioning. Wait, Marco? He said Marco. But Marco was… He hung up. Looked at me. You live at 1847 Ashford. Apartment 4B. It wasn't a question. How do you… I know everything about you now, Luna Cross. Age 26. Works at Joe's Diner. Night shift. 4 years running. Lives alone. No family in the city. One friend who believes in ghosts. Maya. He knew about Maya. Your friend gave you that number, he continued. The emergency hotline. Except it's not a hotline. Then what is it? A number that shouldn't exist anymore. Before I could ask what that meant, another SUV pulled up. A man stepped out. Older, gray at the temples. He moved like violence was a language he spoke fluently. Boss, he said, nodding to Adriano. Then he saw me. His expression didn't change, but something in his eyes did. This the girl? Yes, she saw. Yes. The man studied me like I was a problem he was calculating how to solve. Options? He asked Adriano. We take her. Keep her close until we know who sent the hit squad. Hit squad. The words didn't feel real. And if they come at us, then we remind them why we don't touch civilians. The older man nodded, walked back to his vehicle. Within seconds, I watched as more men mobilized. They moved with terrifying efficiency. No wasted movements. No hesitation. Like a machine designed for one purpose, control. I counted at least 50 men now, maybe more, all armed, all waiting for a single word from the man standing in front of me. This is insane, I whispered. This is Tuesday, Adriano said. He extended his hand toward the car. Get in. And if I refuse, then those 6 men will reach your apartment in 12 minutes. They won't be polite. They won't ask questions. And I won't be there to stop them. I looked at his hand, then at the alley, where I'd seen the men, then at the small army surrounding us. I had 2 choices. Trust the devil I just met, or face the ones I hadn't. I got in the car. The interior was leather and shadows. Adriano slid in beside me. The door closed with a sound like a vault ceiling. Where are we going? I asked. Somewhere safe. Your place? Something like that. The car started moving. Silent. Smooth. Like floating. I looked out the window. The city slid past. Normal people living normal lives. Not knowing that, just blocks away, armies moved in the dark. Why are you helping me? I asked. Adriano was quiet for a long moment. When he finally spoke, his voice was different. Softer. Almost sad. Because someone has to. I turned to look at him. In the dim light of the car, I noticed things I hadn't before. His skin was pale. Not unhealthy pale. Something else. Like he hadn't seen sun in months. And his eyes. They were dark. Yes. But there was something behind them. Something hollow. Empty. Are you okay? I asked before I could stop myself. He looked at me. Really looked at me. No. He said quietly. I haven't been okay for a very long time. The car stopped in front of a building that didn't belong in this neighborhood. Glass and steel. Modern. Expensive. A doorman stood at attention. But he didn't look at Adriano. Didn't acknowledge him. Just opened the door for me. Miss, he said with a slight bow. Strange, I thought. Wouldn't he greet his boss first? Maybe he was new. Or scared. I glanced at Adriano as we walked toward the entrance. He moved differently than other people. His footsteps made no sound on the marble floor. The doorman held the door, looking straight ahead. Not at Adriano. Through him, like he wasn't there. Does he know you? I asked quietly. He should, Adriano said. I've owned this building for 5 years. But there was something in his voice. Uncertainty. Like he wasn't entirely sure of his own words. In the elevator, I watched our reflection in the polished doors. I could see myself clearly. Tired. Confused. Still wearing my diner uniform. But Adriano's reflection was strange. Faint. Like old film. I blinked. Must be the lighting. Or exhaustion. Or both. We rode the elevator to the top floor. Penthouse. Of course it was a penthouse. The doors opened directly into the apartment. Massive. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. Minimalist furniture. Everything black and white and chrome. It looked like a magazine spread. Perfect. Untouched. Like no one actually lived here. I walked in slowly, taking it all in. The pristine surfaces. The lack of personal items. No photos on the walls. No books on the shelves. No dishes in the sink. Nothing that suggested a real person lived here. It felt like a showroom, or a memory of a home, rather than an actual one. Make yourself comfortable, Adriano said. I walked to the windows. The city sprawled below us. Tiny lights, tiny lives. I felt so far removed from everything. Do you live here alone? I asked. I do now. Something in the way he said it. Like he was remembering something painful. I turned. He was standing by the bar, pouring himself a drink. Or pretending to. I watched carefully this time. He lifted the glass, brought it to his lips. But I didn't see his throat move. Didn't see him actually swallow. The glass came down, still full. Exactly as full as before. Would you like something? He asked. Water would be good. He gestured to the kitchen. Help yourself. Everything you need is there. Not, let me get it for you. Not, I'll pour you some. Just, help yourself. Like he couldn't do it himself. I walked to the kitchen, opened the fridge. It was stocked. Fresh fruit, vegetables, milk, juice, but everything looked untouched. Pristine. The apples had no bruises. The lettuce showed no sign of ever being used. Even the milk was full to the line. Perfectly new. Like props in a showroom. Or like someone had stocked it, but never used any of it. I grabbed a bottle of water, closed the fridge, noticed the trash can. Empty. Completely empty. No garbage bag even. Just bare metal. How long had he said he lived here? 5 years? Who lives somewhere for 5 years and has an empty trash can? I turned. He was right behind me. I gasped, stepped back, hit the counter. Sorry, he said, not moving. I didn't mean to startle you. How did you? I'd just seen him across the room, at the bar, but was 50 feet away. No one moves that fast. No one that quiet. I move fast, he said with a slight smile. That smile. It should have been charming. Instead, it was sad. Like he was remembering something he'd lost. Something he could never get back. I looked at him more carefully now. Really looked. In the kitchen light, I could see details I'd missed outside. His skin wasn't just pale. It had a quality to it, almost translucent, like porcelain. Or wax. And his eye. God. His eyes. They were beautiful. Dark and deep. But there was nothing behind them. No warmth. No life. Just darkness. Infinite darkness. Like looking into a well with no bottom. Are you feeling okay? I asked, the words coming out before I could stop them. Why do you ask? You just seem, I don't know, tired? I am tired, he said softly. More tired than you can imagine. There was weight in those words. Centuries of weight. Even though he couldn't be more than 35. Your men, I said. The ones you sent to my apartment. How will I know they got there in time? They did. You can't know that. He pulled out his phone, showed me a message. Location secured. 6 hostiles detained. No casualties. The timestamp 3 minutes ago. How is that possible? We've only been here 10 minutes. I have efficient people. I stared at the message. Something didn't add up, but I was too tired to figure out what. You should rest, Adriano said. Guest room is down the hall. First door on the right. I'm not tired. You will be. He was right. Exhaustion hit me like a wave. The adrenaline wearing off. The Halloween party. The late shift. The terror of the last hour. All of it catching up. Okay, I said quietly. Maybe just for a little while. I walked down the hall, found the room. It was beautiful. King bed with white linens, attached bathroom. Everything I needed. I sat on the edge of the bed. My phone buzzed. Maya, happy Halloween. How was the party? Any cute ghosts? I stared at the message. How did I explain this? I couldn't. Not yet. I typed back. Long story. Tell you tomorrow. I'm safe. Her response. Safe? What happened? Tomorrow, I sent. Promise. I set my phone on the nightstand. Looked around the room. There was a mirror on the wall. I walked over to it. Looked at myself. Tired. Still wearing my diner uniform under my coat. Fake blood still on my sleeve from the party. I looked like I'd been through something. I turned. The door was open. Adriano stood in the hallway, just standing there, watching. Not creepy, just there, like he was making sure I was okay. Do you need anything? He asked. No, thank you. He nodded. Started to turn. Adriano? He stopped. Why did they attack that man? The one I saw in the alley? His expression went cold. Because someone gave the order. Who? That's what I'm going to find out. He turned and walked away. I closed the door, locked it, sat back on the bed. My mind was racing. Nothing made sense. The number that shouldn't exist. The army that appeared in minutes. The way people looked at him, or didn't look at him. I thought about the doorman. He'd greeted me, not Adriano. I thought about the older man in the car. He'd called him boss, but there was something in his voice. Like he was talking to someone who wasn't really there. No, I was being paranoid, tired, imagining things. I lay down on the bed. Just for a minute. I'd close my eyes. Just for a minute. I woke up to sunlight. Morning. I'd slept through the rest of Halloween night. November 1st now, Day of the Dead. The irony wasn't lost on me. I got up, washed my face, found my way back to the living room. Adriano was sitting by the windows. Same clothes as last night, same position. Like he'd been sitting there all night. Did you sleep? I asked. I don't sleep much anymore. I walked to the kitchen, made coffee. The machine was high-end. Espresso. I made 2 cups, brought one to him, set it on the table beside him. He looked at it, looked at me. Thank you. But he didn't drink it. I sat across from him with my cup. Watched the city wake up below us. What happens now? I asked. Now we wait. For what? For my people to find out who ordered the hit. Who those men were working for. And then you can go back to your life. Just like that? Just like that. I didn't believe him. Nothing was ever just like that. Can I ask you something? I said. Yes. That number. The one Maya gave me. Why did you have it? He was quiet for a moment. It was mine. A long time ago. I used it for business. What kind of business? The kind where people needed help in the middle of the night. And you helped them? Sometimes. Why? He looked at me then. Really looked at me. Because someone has to give a damn about people who fall through the cracks. The way he said it, like he knew what it felt like to fall. My phone rang. Maya, I have to take this, I said. He nodded. I walked to the guest room, closed the door. Hey, I answered. Luna, oh my God, are you okay? Your message freaked me out. I'm fine. I'm safe. Where are you? I'm with someone. Someone who's helping me. Helping you with what? What happened? I told her. Most of it. The men in the alley. The text to the wrong number. The SUVs. The protection. I left out some details. Like how nothing about Adriano Ferrante quite made sense. Luna, Maya said slowly. That number I gave you. It was supposed to be defunct. What? I got it from my grandmother. She used to be involved in some spiritual communities. That number was for people who needed help with things that couldn't be explained. Things that crossed over. Crossed over? Between the living and the dead. My blood went cold. Maya, what are you saying? I'm saying that number should have been disconnected 3 months ago. After the man who ran it died. 3 months ago. Who was he? I whispered. A man named Adriano Ferrante. He was some kind of mobster who also helped people with paranormal problems. I know it sounds crazy, but my grandmother swore he was real. She said he was murdered 3 months ago, shot in an alley by his own lieutenant. The room spun. Luna? Are you there? I have to go, I managed. Wait. I hung up, sat on the bed, tried to breathe. 3 months ago, murdered in an alley, shot by his own lieutenant. I thought about the man in the car, the older one who'd called him boss. There'd been something in his voice. Not respect, grief, and the way Adriano had said his name, Marco. He'd sent Marco to my apartment. But Marco was. I stood up, walked back to the living room. Adriano was still by the window. The coffee I'd made him sat untouched, cold. Now, I walked up to him, stood in front of him. Adriano. He looked up at me, those dark, hollow eyes. When did you die? He didn't seem surprised by the question, didn't try to deny it. He just looked at me with something like relief. 3 months ago, he said quietly, October 31st. Halloween night. The world tilted. They shot me in an alley behind a warehouse. The one where you saw those men last night. But I saw you. I'm seeing you right now. Yes. How? I don't know. I should have crossed over. Should have moved on. But I couldn't. Why not? Unfinished business. Isn't that what they always say? I took a step back. You're a ghost. Yes. This whole time. The car, the apartment, the men, all of it. The apartment is real. It was mine. Still is, technically. The men are real. They were mine. Most of them don't know I'm gone. Or they do, but they choose not to see it. The doorman. He didn't look at you. He can't see me. Not really. Only certain people can. People like me, yes. People with a gift. People who can see beyond the veil. I thought I was going to be sick. Why didn't you tell me? Would you have believed me? No, I wouldn't have. What do you want from me? I asked. I told you. To keep you safe. Why? Why do you care? He stood up, stepped closer. Because when you sent that message last night, I heard it. For the first time in 3 months, someone reached out to me. Someone needed help, and I could answer. So I'm what? Your unfinished business? Maybe. Or maybe you're the first person who's truly seen me since I died. I wanted to run, wanted to scream, wanted to wake up and find this was all some post-Halloween nightmare. But I couldn't move. Because part of me understood. Part of me had known something was wrong from the moment I met him. The way he moved, the way people reacted to him, the untouched apartment, the coffee. He never drank. All of it made horrible sense now. The men I saw in the alley, I said. Were they killing someone? Yes. Who? I don't know yet. But it happened in the same place I died. Same people, probably. And you saw it? So they're after me. Yes. And you're protecting me. Yes. But you're dead. Yes. How can you protect me if you're dead? He smiled. That sad, broken smile. I'm very good at working with what I have. I sat down on the couch, put my head in my hands. This is insane. I know. I'm talking to a ghost. Yes. And he's a dead mobster. Was a mobster. I like to think death changed me a little. I looked up at him. He was still standing there, solid. Real. Except he wasn't. Can I touch you? I asked. You can try. I stood up, walked over to him, reached out my hand, touched his chest. My hand went through, not completely. There was resistance, like pushing through cold water. I felt something. A presence, an energy, but not solid. I pulled my hand back. I'm sorry, he said. For what? For not being what you need. And what do I need? Someone alive. I sat back down. He sat beside me. Close, but not touching. Couldn't touch. I reminded myself. Tell me what happened, I said. The night you died. He was quiet for a long time. Then he started talking. I was meeting with my lieutenant, Marco. He'd called me to the warehouse. Said there was a problem with one of our shipments. I went alone. Stupid, I know. But I trusted him. He killed you. He set me up. The Morelli family had made him an offer. Kill me. Take over the East Side territories. He took the deal. And now he runs everything I built. Under their supervision, of course. Do your men know? Some do. Some don't. Some choose not to see. It's easier that way. The older man, the one who came last night, Sal, he knows. He's always known. But he's loyal to me, Not to Marco. He keeps the operation running, keeps people safe, waits for me to find peace. And the men you sent to my apartment? They're loyal to Sal. They don't know I'm dead. Or they know but don't believe it. Grief does strange things to people. I tried to process this, failed. Why haven't you moved on? I asked. Because I can't. Not yet. Why not? Because Marco is still out there. Because the people who killed me are still hurting people. Because I have things left to do. Like what? Like keeping you alive. I looked at him. At his face. His eyes. He looked so real. So solid. So, here. I don't understand any of this. I said. Neither do I. But you saved me last night. I tried. Your men came. They stopped the people after me. Yes. So you can still affect the physical world. Sometimes. When the veil is thin, when the need is great, when someone believes in me enough to make me real. I believe in you. The words surprised me, but they were true. That's dangerous, he said softly. Why? Because believing in ghosts means accepting that death isn't the end. And that's a hard truth to live with. Maybe. But right now, I'm more worried about the living people who want me dead. He almost smiled. Fair point. We sat in silence for a while. The city moved below us. Life continuing. Normal. Mundane. While I sat in a penthouse with a dead man who'd saved my life. What happens now? I asked. Now we figure out who gave the order. Who killed that man in the alley. And we stop them before they come for you again. How? I have resources. Information. People who owe me favors. We'll find them. And then? And then you'll be safe. And I can finally rest. You mean crossover? Yes. The thought made my chest hurt. Which was crazy. I'd known him for less than a day. And he was dead. But the idea of him disappearing, of him finally finding peace, it felt like losing something I'd just found. How long do we have? I asked. I don't know. Days. Maybe weeks. And then you're gone. Yes. I looked at him. Really looked at him. This impossible man who'd saved me. This ghost who still cared about the living. This broken soul who refused to rest until his work was done. Then we'd better make it count, I said. He turned to me. Something passed between us. Understanding. Connection. The beginning of something that shouldn't exist. Yes, he said quietly. We'd better. The next few days were strange. I stayed in the penthouse. Too dangerous to go back to my apartment. Too risky to go to work. Joe understood. I'd called him, told him I had a family emergency. He didn't ask questions. Adriano and I fell into a rhythm. I'd wake up. He'd be by the window. Same position. Like he'd been there all night. Because he had been. Ghosts don't sleep. We'd talk. He'd tell me about his life. His real life. Before the violence. Before the empire. When he was just a kid from Brooklyn who wanted to protect his family. I'd tell him about mine. My ordinary life. The diner. Maya. My dreams of something more. We'd sit for hours. Just talking. Learning each other. And slowly, impossibly, I started to care about him. Not despite what he was, but because of who he was. The man who still fought for people. Even after death. The soul who refused to give up. The ghost who made me feel more seen than any living person ever had. Tell me about your life, he said one afternoon. We were sitting in the living room. Weak November sun filtering through the windows. There's not much to tell, I said. Tell me anyway. So I did. I told him about growing up in foster care. About never quite fitting in anywhere. About the diner being the first place that felt like home. About Maya being the first friend who stayed. You're stronger than you think, he said when I finished. I don't feel strong. The strongest people rarely do. I looked at him. Did you feel strong? When you were alive? No. I felt scared. All the time. Scared I'd fail. Scared I'd lose people. Scared I'd become the monster everyone thought I was. Were you? A monster? He was quiet for a long time. Sometimes. Yes. I did things I'm not proud of. Hurt people who didn't deserve it. Built an empire on violence and fear. But you also helped people. That doesn't erase the bad. No. But it counts for something. He looked at me. Does it? Yes. I meant it. Whatever he'd done in life. He was trying to make it right in death. That had to mean something. Luna, he said softly. Yes? Thank you. For what? For seeing me. for not running away, for making me feel human again. My throat tightened. You are human. Dead or alive, you're still you. Something in his expression cracked. Vulnerability, raw and real. I wish I'd met you when I was alive, he said. Why? Because maybe then I would have had something worth living for. The words hit me hard. I stood up, walked over to him, tried to take his hand. My fingers passed through that cold resistance. Almost there, but not quite. I'm here now, I said. So are you? He looked up at me. This is impossible. I know. You're alive. I'm dead. I know. This can't work. I know. But neither of us moved. That night, things changed. Sal came to the apartment. His face was grim. Boss, he said, then caught himself. Looked at me. Adriano had told him I knew. It's okay, Adriano said. She knows everything. Sal nodded. We found something. About the hit in the alley. What? It was Marco. He's cleaning house. Anyone who might have information about your murder. Anyone who might talk. Who was the victim? Tomas Ricci. He was there the night you died. He drove the car. Adriano's expression went cold. Where's Marco now? Safe house on the east side. He's got Morelli protection. 10 men minimum at all times. Not enough. Boss. Sal's voice was careful. You know we can't touch him. Not directly. The Morellis have too much power now. I'm not asking you to touch him. I'm going to do it myself. You're... Sal stopped. Looked at me. How? I have my ways. After Sal left, I turned to Adriano. What are you planning? To end this. How? You said yourself you can't always affect the physical world. I can when I need to. And I need to now. This is about revenge. This is about justice. What's the difference? He looked at me. Justice protects the living. Revenge just makes the dead feel better. And which one is this? Both. I understood. Marco had killed him, had taken everything, and was now killing anyone who might expose the truth. I'm coming with you, I said. No. Yes. Luna. It's too dangerous. I'm already in danger. At least with you I can help. Help how? I can see you. I can be your eyes. Your voice. Whatever you need. He wanted to argue. I could see it, but he also knew I was right. Okay, he said finally. But you stay in the car. You don't come inside. You don't put yourself at risk. Deal. The next night, we went to Marco's safe house. Sal drove. 2 other men in the car. Men who'd been loyal to Adriano in life. Who still were, in death. I sat in the back with Adriano. He was tense. More solid than usual. Like anger gave him form. Are you scared? I asked quietly. Yes. Of Marco? Of what I might do to him. I understood. Revenge was easy. Mercy was hard. We parked a block away. Watched the safe house. Counted the guards. 11. One more than Sal thought. Adriano said. Can you get past them? I don't need to get past them. I just need to get to Marco. He turned to me. If something goes wrong, you run. You don't look back. You don't try to help. You just run. Promise me, Adriano. Promise me, Luna. I promise. He nodded. Got out of the car. Walked toward the house. I watched him go. Watched him become less solid with each step. Until he was just a shadow. A shimmer in the streetlight. And then he was gone. Inside. I waited. Counted the seconds. Tried not to panic. Then I heard it. Shouting inside the house. Gunshots. Glass breaking. The guards scrambling. Looking for a threat they couldn't see. One man stumbled out. Screaming. There's something in there. Something. He didn't finish. Collapsed. Not dead. Just unconscious. More men ran out. Confusion. Fear. Whatever Adriano was doing, it was working. Then silence. The house went quiet. Too quiet. I counted to 60. Then to 60 again. Still nothing. Something was wrong. I got out of the car. Miss, you should stay. Sal started. Something's wrong. I ran toward the house. Sal cursed behind me. Followed. I burst through the door. The interior was chaos. Unconscious guards. Broken furniture. And in the center of it all, Marco, standing with a gun, pointed at nothing. But I could see what he couldn't. Adriano, barely visible, flickering, weak. Show yourself, Marco screamed. I know you're here. I know you're not dead. You're right, I said. Marco spun. Gun now pointed at me. Who the hell are you? Someone who can see what you can't. His eyes widened. You can see him. Yes. Where is he? Right behind you. Marco turned. Fired. The bullet passed through Adriano. Hit the wall. You can't kill him, I said. He's already dead. Because of you. Marco's hand shook. This isn't possible. Neither is a dead man protecting people. But here we are. Adriano was getting weaker. I could see it. This was taking too much energy. He couldn't hold on much longer. Adriano, I said softly. I'm here. He turned to me, even barely visible. I could see his eyes. Tell him, Adriano said. His voice was faint. Tell him what? Tell him I forgive him. What? Tell him. I looked at Marco, this man who'd killed the person I cared about. He forgives you, I said. Marco's face crumpled. No, he can't. I don't deserve. He knows, but he forgives you anyway. Why? Because holding on to it is what keeps him here. And he's ready to go. I wasn't ready. But this wasn't about me. Adriano was fading, getting more transparent. I could see through him now. The Morellis, Adriano said. Tell him about the Morellis. The Morelli family, I said to Marco. They were always going to kill you. You were just a tool. Once you eliminated Adriano, you were next. Marco's face went white. How do you? Because they told him. Because he's been watching. Because even in death he's been trying to protect people. Marco dropped the gun, fell to his knees. I'm sorry, he sobbed. I'm so sorry. I was weak. I was scared. I wanted power and It's done. I said, you're forgiven. Now you have to live with it. Marco looked up at me. Then past me, at something he almost couldn't see. Boss, he whispered. Adriano was barely there now. But he nodded. Once, and then he smiled. That sad, beautiful smile. Luna, he said. His voice was so faint, I almost couldn't hear it. Thank you. Don't go, I said. I have to. I'm not ready. Neither am I. He was disappearing, fading into light. Will I see you again? I asked. I don't know, but if there's a way, I'll find it. Promise? I promise. And then he was gone. Completely gone. I felt the moment he left. Felt the absence. The cold. The empty space where he'd been. I fell to my knees, sobbing. Not caring that Marco was there. Not caring that Sal and his men had entered. Not caring about anything, except the fact that I'd just lost something irreplaceable. Sal helped me up. He's gone, I said. I know. He forgave Marco. That's what he does. Did. He forgives. How do I couldn't finish. How do I live without him? How do I go back to normal? How do I pretend this never happened? You take it one day at a time, Sal said gently. That's all any of us can do. 2 weeks passed. I went back to my apartment, back to work, back to my life. Except my life didn't feel like mine anymore. Everything was different now. I'd seen the impossible, loved the impossible, lost the impossible. Maya called every day. You okay? She'd ask. No, I'd say. But I will be. Liar. I wasn't okay. Wouldn't be okay. Not for a long time. Maybe not ever. But I kept going. Because I'd promised Adriano I would. Because he'd asked me to live. Really live. So I tried. Even though every moment felt empty. Even though every breath hurt. Even though I kept looking for him in shadows and seeing nothing. Then, on November 15th, something changed. I was walking home from my shift. Same road I always took. And I felt it. Cold air on the back of my neck. I stopped. Turned. Nothing. Just empty street. But then I heard it. His voice. Faint. Barely there. But real. Luna. I spun around. And there he was. Translucent. Barely visible. But there. Adriano? I couldn't leave. He said. I tried. I crossed over. Saw the light. Felt the pull. And I turned around. Why? Because I made a promise too. I promised I'd find a way back if I could. And I did. He moved closer. Still more ghost than real, but present. I don't know how long I can hold on. Maybe days, maybe years, maybe forever. But I'm here, as much as I can be. Tears streamed down my face. You came back. I love you. Where else would I go? I ran to him, tried to hug him. My arms went through him mostly, but not entirely. I felt something, a hint of solidness, a whisper of presence. Enough to know he was real. We can't have normal, he said softly. I know. We can't have forever. I know that too. But we can have this. Whatever this is. For as long as it lasts. I looked up at him, at his impossible, beautiful, tragic face. That's enough, I said. That's more than enough. He smiled. For real this time. Then let's make it count. And we did. In whatever way we could, for however long we had. The days that followed were strange in the most beautiful way. Adriano existed in the spaces between worlds. Sometimes I could see him clearly, solid enough to almost touch. Other times he was barely a shimmer, a presence I felt more than saw. It depended on me, he said, on how much I believed in him, on how much I needed him, on the strength of what we felt. We learned the rules slowly. When I was emotional, he was stronger. When I cried, I could feel his arms around me. When I laughed, I could see his smile clearly. When I said I love you, he could almost kiss me. Almost. It was never quite enough, but it was more than nothing, and that made it everything. Maya came over one afternoon. She wanted to meet him. Are you sure? I asked Adriano. It's your choice, he said. But yes, I'd like to meet her. Maya arrived with sage and crystals. Of course she did. So, she said, looking around the apartment. Where is he? Right here, I said, gesturing to the couch where Adriano sat. Maya squinted. I can't see him, but I feel him. It's cold. And there's this pressure. Adriano smiled. She's sensitive, he said. Tell her I said thank you. For what? Maya asked. When I relayed the message. For giving you that number, Adriano said. For believing in things beyond what we can see. For being a good friend to Luna. Maya's eyes filled with tears. Tell him I see why you love him. We sat for hours, the three of us. Maya couldn't see Adriano, but she could feel him, could sense his presence, and she accepted it. Accepted us. This is insane, she said finally. But also kind of beautiful. That's what I keep telling myself, I said. After she left, Adriano and I sat in silence. Thank you, I said. For what? For being real. For being here. For loving me, even though it's impossible. Loving you is the easiest thing I've ever done, he said. Living or dead. The hardest part was the physical distance. We couldn't touch. Not really. Sometimes, when my emotions were strong enough, I could feel him. A cold pressure. A hint of solidness. But it wasn't the same as actually touching someone. Feeling their warmth. Their breath. Their heartbeat. One night, I broke down. I want to hold your hand. I sobbed. I want to feel you. Really feel you. Adriano knelt in front of me, as close as he could get without passing through me. Close your eyes, he said softly. I did. Feel me here. I'm right here. I'm not going anywhere. I felt cold. Pressure. Presence. Not the same as touch, but real in its own way. I feel you, I whispered. I'm always here, Luna. Even when you can't see me. Even when you can't feel me. I'm here. We developed routines. I'd wake up. He'd be by the window, watching the sunrise. He couldn't feel. I'd make coffee. He'd sit with me while I drank it. We'd talk about everything. About his life, my life, our impossible present, our uncertain future. He told me stories about growing up in Brooklyn, about his family, his mother, who believed in saints and miracles, his father, who believed in hard work and loyalty, his sister who died young. Cancer, he said. That's what started everything. He'd needed money for her treatment, got involved with the wrong people, made choices he couldn't take back. I wanted to save her, he said, but I lost myself trying. You were trying to protect someone you loved, I said. That's not wrong. The methods were, maybe, but the intention was pure. He looked at me. You see the best in people. I see the truth in people. And your truth is that you cared. You still care. That's why you're still here. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into a month. We existed in our bubble. This impossible relationship that shouldn't work, but did. Then one night, everything changed again. I came home from work. Adriano wasn't by the window. Adriano, I called. Nothing. Panic rose in my chest. Adriano, I'm here. His voice came from the bedroom. I ran, found him sitting on the edge of the bed, flickering, weaker than I'd ever seen him. What's wrong? I don't know. I feel thin, like I'm being pulled somewhere. I sat beside him, tried to take his hand. My fingers went straight through. No resistance at all. No, I whispered. Not yet. Luna, you said we'd have time. You said maybe years. I thought we would, but something's changed. What? I think it's because I forgave Marco. I let go of the anger, the unfinished business. Now there's nothing keeping me here. Except me. Yes, I felt my world crumbling. So if you stay, it's only because I'm holding you back. From peace, from rest, from whatever comes next. Yes. And if I let you go, I cross over. Finally, tears streamed down my face. I don't want to let you go. I know, but I have to. Yes, because loving you means wanting what's best for you, even if it destroys me. His image flickered, faded more. I love you, Luna Cross. In life, I never found anything worth dying for. In death, I found something worth living for. You don't, I sobbed. Don't say goodbye. I have to. I'm not ready. Neither am I. But we don't get to choose. I felt him fading, felt the moment he started to slip away. Wait, I gasped. Wait, please. Luna, I need to say it. I need you to know. You changed everything. You made me believe in impossible things. You made me feel seen. You made me feel loved in a way I never thought I could be. And even though this hurt, even though it's ending, I wouldn't change any of it. I wouldn't take it back, because loving you, even for this short time, was the most real thing I've ever experienced. He was crying. I could see tears on his translucent face. Thank you, he whispered. Thank you for seeing me. Thank you for making me real. Thank you for loving a dead man. You were never dead to me. You were always alive. In every way that mattered. The light around him was growing. Warm, inviting, pulling him away. I'll wait for you, he said. However long it takes. I'll wait. Don't wait. Live. Or whatever comes next. Be happy. I'll never be free of you, Luna. You're part of me now. Forever. And then he smiled. One last time. That beautiful, sad, perfect smile. See you on the other side, he said, and disappeared into light. I screamed, fell to my knees, sobbed until I couldn't breathe. The apartment felt empty, cold, wrong. He was gone, really gone this time. And I had to figure out how to live in a world without him. Sal found me the next morning, still on the floor, eyes swollen, voice gone from crying. He crossed over. I managed to say, Sal nodded. I felt it. We all did. There's a lightness now, a peace. I'm happy for him, but sad for you. Yes. Sal helped me up, made me tea, sat with me while I pulled myself back together. He left something for you, Sal said. What? He handed me an envelope. My name, on it, in elegant script. I opened it with shaking hands. Inside was a letter. Luna, if you're reading this, I'm gone, really gone, and you're probably in pain. I'm sorry for that. I wish I could take it away, but I also want you to know something. The time we had, however brief, was the most meaningful of my entire existence. You gave me something I never had in life. Love without conditions. Acceptance without judgment. You saw the worst of me and chose to see the best anyway. Don't mourn me too long. Live. Really live. Find joy. Find love. Find all the things I never could. And know that wherever I am, whatever comes next, I'm carrying you with me. You're part of my soul now. Forever. Thank you for everything. P.S. The apartment is yours. And the account at First National. Use it. Build something beautiful. You deserve beautiful things. I cried again. But this time, it felt different. Not just grief, but gratitude too. For having known him. For having loved him. For having been part of something impossible. 3 months passed. Winter gave way to spring. I moved through my days. Working. Living. Existing. The grief was still there. But it was softer now. A dull ache instead of a sharp pain. I used the money Adriano left me. Paid off my student loans. Helped Maya start her metaphysical bookstore. Donated to cancer research. in his sister's name, built something beautiful, like he'd asked. And slowly, I started to heal. Not forget. Never forget. But heal. The diner felt different now. Joe had questions at first. About my sudden absence. About the family emergency that wasn't really an emergency. But he didn't push. Just welcomed me back. Gave me my old shifts. Let me find my rhythm again. Customers came and went. Same faces. Same orders. Same small talk. But I was different. I'd seen impossible things. Loved impossible things. Lost impossible things. And it changed me. Made me quieter. More thoughtful. Less afraid. Because what's left to fear when you've already faced the impossible? Maya visited often. We'd sit in her new bookstore, surrounded by crystals and tarot decks and books about the supernatural. And we'd talk about Adriano, about love that transcends death, about gifts we didn't ask for but learned to accept. Do you ever feel him? She asked one day. We were sitting in her reading nook. Afternoon sun streaming through purple curtains. Every day, I said. How? Cold spots. Shadows that move wrong. The feeling of being watched, but not in a scary way. In a protected way. That's beautiful. It's lonely. Both things can be true. She was right. It was beautiful and lonely. Magical and painful. A gift and a curse. All at once. I started volunteering. At a shelter for women escaping domestic violence. It felt right. Helping people who'd fallen through the cracks. Like Adriano had tried to do. Like he'd taught me to do. The women there had stories. Hard stories. Stories of survival and strength. And I listened. Really listened. The way Adriano had listened to me. With no judgment. Only understanding. One woman. Maria. Reminded me of myself. Young. Alone. Scared. But trying. How did you get out? She asked me one day. We were folding donated clothes in the storage room. Out of what? Whatever you went through. I can see it in your eyes. You've been through something. I smiled sadly. I lost someone I loved. I'm sorry. Don't be. I gotta love him. That's more than some people ever get. Was he good to you? I thought about that. About Adriano. His kindness. His protection. His love that existed beyond death itself. He was everything, I said. Maria nodded. Understood without needing details. That's the thing about people who've survived impossible things. We recognize each other. See the same shadows in each other's eyes. One night in late March, I had a dream. I was walking through a garden. Flowers everywhere. Colors I'd never seen before. Colors that don't exist in the living world. The sun was warm on my face, but not too hot. Perfect. And there he was, Adriano. Solid. Real. More real than he'd ever been. Smiling. You're okay, I said. Not a question. A statement. I'm perfect, he said. Are you? Getting there. Good. That's what I wanted. I miss you. I know. But I'm always with you. You know that, right? I do. He reached out. This time, when his hand touched mine, I felt it. Warm. Real. Solid. Not cold. Not translucent. Just him. See? He said. We're not so impossible after all. Is this real? I asked. Or am I dreaming? Does it matter? I guess not. We stood there, holding hands, in a garden that existed nowhere. And everywhere. I love you. I said. I know. I love you too. Will I see you again? Every night. If you want. In dreams. In signs. In the spaces between heartbeats. That's not the same as being with you. No. But it's something. And something is better than nothing. He was right. Something was better than nothing. Tell me what it's like, I said. Where you are. He looked around the garden. At the impossible colors. The perfect light. It's peaceful. No pain. No fear. No regret. That sounds nice. It is. But I miss things too. Like what? Coffee. Even though I never drank it. The sound of rain. The smell of the city. Your laugh. My throat tightened. I don't laugh much anymore. You will. Give it time. How much time? However much you need. I wanted to stay in that garden forever. Holding his hand. Feeling his warmth. Pretending this was real. But I felt myself pulling away. Waking up. Don't go. I said. I'm not going anywhere. You are. Back to your life. To your beautiful, impossible life. I don't want to. Yes, you do. You have work to do. People to help. A life to live. For both of us. Yes. For both of us. The garden started to fade, the colors bleeding into white light. Luna, he said, his voice distant now. Remember something for me. What? Death isn't the end of love. It's just a different way of loving. I'll remember. Good. Now wake up and live. I woke up with tears on my face, but I was smiling because I understood now. Death wasn't the end. Love didn't stop. It just changed form, became something new, something eternal, something that existed in dreams and shadows and memories. And that was enough. It had to be. After that dream, things got easier. The grief was still there, but it felt different. Less like losing him, more like carrying him with me, in my heart, in my choices, in the way I moved through the world. I started seeing signs, little things, that felt like him. A song on the radio at exactly the right moment. Finding money in my pocket I didn't remember having. Meeting people who needed help exactly when I could help them. Coincidences that felt too perfect to be coincidences. Maya called them synchronicities. I called them Adriano, watching over me, guiding me, loving me in the only way he could now. One day in April, Sal came to the diner. He sat at the counter, ordered coffee. How are you, Miss Luna? I'm okay. You? Managing. The business is different now. Different how? Quieter. Marco's trying to do right. After what happened. After what the boss did. Forgiving him, you mean? Yes. That changed things. Changed Marco. He's trying to be better. That's good. The boss would be proud. He is proud. Wherever he is. Sal nodded, took a sip of his coffee. He loved you, you know. In a way he never loved anyone. Not even in life. I know. You gave him something he needed. Peace. He gave me something too. What's that? Proof that love is stronger than death. Sal smiled. A real smile. Sad but genuine. He'd like that. The poetry of it. After he left, I found an envelope under his coffee cup. Inside was a note, in Adriano's handwriting. I don't know how. Maybe Sal had saved it from before. Maybe it was another sign, another impossibility. It said, Luna, keep living, keep loving, keep believing in impossible things. The world needs more people like you. People who see beyond the veil, who love beyond death, who believe beyond reason. You made me want to be better. Even in death. That's a gift. Don't waste it. I folded the note carefully, put it in my pocket, carried it with me. A reminder, a promise, a connection to something beyond this world. That summer, on July 31st, I did something I'd been planning for months. I went back to the alley where I'd first seen those men, where Adriano had died, where everything began. I brought flowers, left them by the wall. Thank you, I whispered, for saving me, for loving me, for showing me that impossible things are possible. The air shimmered, just for a second, a hint of cold, a whisper of presence, and I knew he'd heard me. He always would, because some connections transcend death. Some love stories don't end, they just transform. And ours? Ours was forever, in whatever form forever takes. I walked away from the alley, back into my life, my beautiful, ordinary, impossible life. And I was okay, not because I'd forgotten, but because I remembered everything. And I carried it with me, the ghost of a dead man, the love of my life, the impossible truth that changed everything. Two people who shouldn't exist together, but did anyway, because love doesn't care about impossible. It just cares about real. And we were real, even if the world couldn't see it. We knew, and that was everything.